Hello everyone and welcome to Minecraft Short Stories. I am Callum Ellis and a lot of people have been sending in short stories, which is great, and this is an episode where I go through them and tell a few of them. If you want to submit a short story to maybe be read on the podcast, go to minecraftshortstories.com. Before that, I have made a lot of polls over the episodes and a lot of you guys have participated in those, so I'm going to tell the answers to the poll questions or tell what people have decided on the polls. The first poll, how long did it take for Notch to create the first version of Minecraft? The options were just over a month, 6 days, 2 years, 69 days, and 14 hours. 26% said just over a month, 22 said 6 days, and then 14% said 69 days, 14% 14 hours. The correct answer is 6 days, with 22% of people saying that, so good job to those people who have said that. The next poll is, should I have another guest? 85% said yes, it'll be great, so I will try to get another guest on. The final one is, what should the segment after the story be? First option, trivia on a Minecraft mob. Second option, discussion with another Minecraft or different game player. Third option, advertising. And fourth option, shoutouts. If there are none, then the second most voted on this poll will be put in. 49% said trivia on a Minecraft mob, so that will be what I will do after most podcast episodes after the story. Now let's get right into the stories. The first story is written by an anonymous author. It is called The Origin of the Creeper. No iron in sight, Steve complained. I literally only need one more iron until I can finish my shift, and then maybe the village generals will give me a pay raise. Steve sighed, but then he heard a small bubbling coming from beneath him. Lava, Steve exclaimed, and lava means a cave. Steve was overjoyed. Maybe this mining trip wouldn't be so bad after all, because if he came back with a diamond as well as a stack of raw iron, he might get a pay raise. Hurriedly, Steve tunneled down, straight down. Ag! Steve screamed as he fell into the lava. Steve could feel the burning and agony of his skin being burned, and the lava seeping into his mouth. Hurriedly, Steve tried to escape the lava by placing every block he had in his inventory. Wool, cobblestone, granite, diorite. But in his terrified rush, he placed TNT. The TNT exploded, making Steve fly through the air, and he landed right on the lava's edge, with only a little bit of health left. Surprisingly though, Steve didn't feel the slightest bit of relief. He just felt anger. He was angry at the people for making him mine on a minimum wage. He was angry for the sake of being angry. But nevertheless, he went towards the surface. As he wandered up to the surface, he saw another miner. Steve got even more angry when he saw him, so he sprinted over to confront him. For some reason, he heard a hissing. As the miner turned to greet him, Steve exploded. Hours later, Steve got up to see a puff of smoke where the miner had previously been standing. Steve looked down and was greeted by a horrible sight. His body was covered with mold, his arms had been blown off, his legs had somehow multiplied and shrunk, and his face was curled into a permanent scowl. Steve realized that the explosion had come from him. The TNT must have somehow merged with him. Steve wandered to the surface of the mine, deep in confusion, and was seen by the village farmer. His eyes widened with fear and shouted, "Get away, creep!" Steve was infuriated by this comment and ran over and blew up. Steve could feel himself disintegrating, but then it stopped, and he was met with a figure with the exact same looks as himself. He asked the creature, "Who are you?" And he replied, "I am a creeper, just like you." Years later, all the ancient builders had created a book about all the different mobs, called the mob bestiary, and they had added another mob, creepers. Now for blowing up at the side of another player, the creeper were known to only have one fear, cat, because creepers hiss before they blow up. When they see a cat hissing, they expect the worst and try to hide so they can get away from the explosion that never comes. And now creepers are feared throughout Minecraft, as a mistake. Not even meant to be in the game, controlled by their infinite anger. The next story is by another anonymous author. It is called The Corruption. Jolie just wanted to get on Minecraft. He was a simple player and he loved farming, so he decided to make a new world. When he got in, he saw a glimpse of something, and when the world was loading, he felt something was wrong. But he carried on, chopped down trees, and something like all other players do. He gathered enough wood to build a house. After that, he made a bed and went to sleep. In the morning, he went mining. Once he started mining, he found diamonds. But it was only a 2 vein. He heard a weird sound, so he took out a sword and put up a shield. It was just an ambient cave sound, and he saw his friend join. They said hi and continued with the game. Joey asked his friend to come down to their cave. They split so they could cover more ground. A couple of minutes later, he heard crying. He saw his friend in a mine shaft, but his friend was in a 2x1 hole. He asked if he was okay. The crying stopped, all sound stopped. His heart almost skipped a beat. His friend disappeared. He thought he left the game, so he went to his house and went to sleep before he fell asleep. He saw outside the window his friend, but his skin was not normal. It had tears all over his hand and black goo all over the rest. He cut out, then it got back in. He got up out of bed and looked out the window. There was nothing. He tried to move the door. It disappeared. He heard his PC fans getting very loud. He started getting anxious, then everything just snapped back into the original state. His friend was yelling, "Where did you go? I found diamonds!" Nothing weird happened again, but still, in the back of his mind, he heard a voice. The end. Final story is by another anonymous author. It does not have a name. The first dog, I was walking along when my mother called me. "Allie, come here, it's dinner time." I sighed. "Mom, please 10 more minutes." "You said that 10 minutes ago." She replied, "I hear something, Mom." "I hear it too." Suddenly a player came and grabbed me. "Mom," I screamed. I never saw her again after that. I bit the player and he only lost half a heart. He said, "Here, wear this. You'll teleport to me whenever you're a certain amount of blocks away." He smirked. I howled. "You'll be called Cookie." "No," I howled, though I knew he couldn't understand. I saw a skeleton and he dropped me and forced me to fight. I got injured badly but defeated the skeleton. Then a creeper came and exploded my owner and my collar didn't work. Then I saw a girl that restored my health and brought me home and made me a wool corner. "I'll call you Allie," she said. I nuzzled her leg. Then a creeper came and I fought it off. Thank you to all the people who send stories and all the people who have stories that I have not said yet. I will try to do that in a different episode. It is now time for a quiz. The quiz question today is, what were villagers originally meant to be? Take a moment to gather your decision. The answer is that villagers were originally meant to be piglin. And talking about piglin, that is what the mob trivia is on today. A piglin is a neutral mob, unless the player is not wearing gold, and player can use gold ingots and items to trade with the piglin for various things. Piglins spawn in a group of 2 to 4 in nether waste biomes. Piglins have a 50% chance of spawning with either a sword or a crossbow. They also have a 40% chance of spawning with any armor piece. Adults have an 8.5% chance of dropping the held item, a golden sword or crossbow with random durability. Each looting level increases this chance by 1%. Babies spawn without equipment. In Java Edition, a picked up item always drops with the same durability as when picked up. In Bedrock Edition, armor picked up by piglins can lose durability and even break, depending on how much damage the piglin takes. Piglins do not drop gold ingots, raw pork chops, or cooked pork chops that they have earlier picked up. Armor. Adults sometimes wear 1 to 4 normal or enchanted pieces of armor, which may be golden helmet, golden chestplate, golden leggings, and golden boots. These are dropped with an 8.5 chance and a random durability. They can also pick up other types of armor. Experience. Adults drop 5 and an additional 1 to 3 per armor piece if killed by a player or a tamed wolf. Baby piglins drop 1. Behavior. Piglins snore enviously while watching the player holding a gold-related item. Like villagers, piglins can open and close wooden doors but cannot open fenced gates, all trapdoors, and iron doors. Piglins cannot swim and can drown if submerged. This is an intentional behavior. They are not naturally immune to fire or lava. Piglins pick up raw pork chops and cooked pork chops that are within 1 block from them, unless they're done so within the last 10 seconds. Idle piglins retreat from zombified piglins, zoglins, soul fires, soul torches, soul lanterns, and lit soul campfires. Piglins ignore soul fire items when pursuing the player, but still run from zombified piglins and zoglins. Baby piglins additionally retreat from the wither skeletons and wither. Crossbow piglins do not reload their crossbows when spawned, unlike pillagers. They reload only when provoked. Baby piglins are passive and play with baby hoglins, running around and riding upon them. Up to 3 baby hoglins may stack on top of each other while riding a baby hoglin. Baby piglins can be given gold, but they do not give anything in return and run away. Baby piglins never grow up. This is an intentional behavior. Thank you all for listening to this episode. If you guys want to support the podcast, go down to the comments or reviews, give a 5-star review, and tell me what you think about the podcast. See you guys on the next episode. Bye.